everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Conversation with the Love Crusader, your Sunday tonic. This is a platform where we talk about life, we talk about love, we talk about relationships, and we do so having fun. So, it's one of our last edition for the year. And I've got the one I call my boss with me here. Always behind the scene, but today, yeah, he's sitting here at the screen with me. We are going to be having a very, very, very interesting topic today. So you don't want to miss this. Call your friends, tell them it's that time to learn, it's that time to share, talk about relationships. If you're coming across the platform for the first time, it's called Conversation with the Love Crusader. We are live on YouTube as we speak right now. We are live on Facebook. Men Fences is the name of our page. We are also live on LinkedIn, and it's on my personal profile, Oko Joseph Comfort Omotese on LinkedIn. Connect with me, find me. Let's come together. And I would say this before we go into the conversation today, and that is that we are not sitting back. We're trying to improve, we're trying to get better. So introducing our website. We now have a website. It's menfences.co.uk. On this website, you can register for our premarital classes. You can book sessions for counseling. You can also see links to support the work that we are doing. Men Fences is a foundation that is out there to ensure that we have the best from our relationships. Okay, I don't intend to bore you too much. Neither do I intend to stop the fun today, because I know we're going to have fun having this conversation. The topic today is comparisons in relationships. Comparison in relationships. So again, my boss is here, like I told you guys earlier on. My husband, the love of my life, the only one that could have married me, as they would always say, Abby. Maybe someone else would have married me, but I like that you're the one that married me. Okay, 28 years. 28 years and counting. My husband is in the studio. Reverend Oko Joseph Obunyanana, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Don't take it for granted. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into it, because as you know, 1 hour always flies when we're having fun on this show. What do we mean? Let's start. When we talk about comparison in relationship, what are we referring to?
This is quite topical, and thank you, Dr. Mo, for having me on this program. It's always a great delight to be here. Let me define it this way: that comparisons in relationship could either be positive or negative. It depends on what from the angle you're coming from, but it's, the comparison in this context could be trying to get your partner to do something, but depending on the presentation. When I talked about this topic, one of the things that came to my mind is I wanted to see the positives in comparison. Comparison is just looking at things, looking at two things. You're looking at two things to see how best it is. Is it better this way, or is it better the other way? You're just looking at two angles, two different angles, and then you're trying to see which fits better, which is better. But when it comes to relationship, many people have taken relationship far or further and taken it out of context the way it should be. And when you hear comparisons in relationship, people tend to look at the negative sides of it, but they forget to look at it from a very positive angle. Comparisons in relationship is really nice, it's good.
mm.
but it should not be seen as comparison, but it should be seen more like an inspiration. That's the
Okay,
way I'll
okay.
look at it.
Let's not jump the gun.
Mm.
So we're trying to break down what we mean by comparison, and we're saying is putting something side by
Side by
side.
side,
So weighing it to see how what they look like when you put one here and you put the other
the other
here.
one there.
Okay. I think I agree with you that that's what comparison is. In a relationship, what are the areas that we could be comparing? What areas could we be looking side by side? I don't want us to quickly go into the one everybody knows, because I know when I posted this, someone said that comparison in relationship can never be positive, and we're going to kind of try to break some of those myths this evening. However, before we get into all that, can we just talk about the things that can be compared, or the things that can bring up comparison in a relationship? What aspects, what indices will someone look at and say, you
Mm.
know, I want to put this and this. For example, let me give you an example now. Sometimes some people compare their parents' relationship and their current relationship.
I get you.
You understand what I'm trying to
Mm.
say? So it can be a reason why someone would want to say, this is who my dad was, this is who my husband is now. And I'm now trying to look at both of them in terms of where are they, or where am I with them, or is my father better than my husband? Is my husband better than, greater than, worse than? So what are some of all those indices or areas that could bring up
You know,
comparisons in a relationship?
one of the things that will cause people to, make comparisons sometimes where there are issues, when there are problems, in the home,
Mm,
issues, when there are problems, people tend to begin to make those kind of comparisons.
mm,
But the reality is that if things were going on well, there
mm,
will be no need for such comparisons. So people actually make comparisons because there's a problem on ground, and they're just trying to make the other person either feel bad or feel even worse about themselves. Now, if we want to say why is my dad better or my mom better than my wife, or the other way around,
mm,
it's not a good comparison to make.
mhm,
It sets the tune for problems at home.
mhm,
But the reason why our parents may have had it easy, maybe because of the times they were in.
mhm.
Yeah? The times are changing, a lot of things are changing. Our parents had
But
more.
did our parents actually have it easy?
I think during their time they did. They did have it.
Really?
They did have it easy. I know that technological advancement, and all of that has come to play now.
Mhm,
But I do believe that our parents had it easier than we're having now. More knowledge. For instance, now there are certain rights that women never had during that time, so they could just live life easy with their husband and go along with life the way they choose. But now a lot of things have changed. Most women are more independent now, working, earning their own money. It wasn't like that, you know, those days. No matter, some women did do businesses, but it's not like we are. So times have changed, and we need to understand it, that this change of times can breed a lot of things. There were times that, the man will be the one who is a breadwinner. He's providing for his house. The kind of economic crunch we're seeing now, and the way things have changed, was not like that. But if you look at the way things are currently, it's extremely difficult, to do everything 100%. Then it was fine to do them. But now, I'm not trying to say we don't have people who still do all of this. We have people who do that. But the comparisons are coming more in this generation now because of the way, things are with us. If you ask me, I think those times were much better.
mm. Okay. I know that on this show we've done, what do you call it? We've talked about the fact, or we've considered whether women's independence, education, and all of that
Mm.
is a blessing or not. And what you're saying now is making me think again. So in terms of comparison, Is it just the woman that does the comparison? Don't men do comparison?
The comparisons are both ways. I've heard men say, "Oh, my mother did it this way. Why didn't you marry your mother? My mother did this." No, 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 no. Don't. That's what I'm trying to say is that one of the biggest problem you can have in any marriage is when you start making certain comparisons. These are two individuals. They are two different people. There's no how your wife can be like your mom. If you're expecting, your mom kind of standard, you can't have two persons, one person who has two individualism, or who two one person doing two things at the same time. There must be different people. Human beings are quite dynamic. They have different characters. You might get something close to your mom, but what I would prefer, I don't want somebody who will be like my mom. I want somebody who will be themselves, grow up for themselves, develop themselves, have a standard they want set for themselves, but at least achieving what we want as a family, the goal we want to achieve. That's what is more important. Our moms weren't 100% angels. They had their flaws as well. So if you say you want to be like somebody, remember that they also have their flaws. There are things they didn't do where they were not 100% okay. But I understand it why some people say, I want to marry somebody like my mom, because their mom were perfect in their eyes. But I would want you to see your wife that way. Disabuse your mind, remove that kind of sentiments from your mind and try to see this person is my wife. See her as a different person, accept her the way she is, and then there'll be no need for comparison. If you need to teach her something, teach her. If there's a need to have a dialogue, to have a discussion on the way you want things to be in your home, that's quite different. That's welcome. But the moment you start saying, I want you to be like my mom, there's no other woman is going to be like your mom, or you want the husband to be like your father. He's not your father. He can never be your father. They remember that we are from two very different worlds. Sometimes different tribes, different geographical setting, different ethnic groups, and all of that coming together. They have had different home trainings, so there's no how they're going to be like this. But if I were to say, accept them the way they are, and maybe have a dialogue prior to even coming together in that relationship, and set certain expectations, because the biggest thing I've come to realize in self-development and all of that is that we need to set expectations. If you have set that expectation, then everyone begins to work, to ensure that there's an outcome from those expectations that we've set. If you don't do that, then that's where you begin to make comparisons to say, yeah, my dad was this, my mom was this. No, no, you have not set the expectation. Set it, work towards it, and begin to achieve certain outcomes. There will be no need for comparison.
Okay. I know that, again, we're talking about the kind of ways where people are comparing. Yeah, and very, very valid examples you've given. You hear this very commonly. People say, um, the woman wants the man to be like her father, or the man wants the woman to be like the mother. And so begin to um either fault their partner based off of what that expectation. Because like it's often said, where there's no expectation there's no disappointment. But where someone has set an expectation, where for example, like you've already rightly mentioned, career women and all of that. So maybe you grew up in a house where someone grew up in a house where they had a mother,
Yeah.
who was a full-time
Housewife.
housewife, for
Yeah.
example. She had lots of time for her children. She was always there at every school games and all that. And then now this person is married, a career woman, who maybe is now chasing goals. She's in the boardroom and all of that. Doesn't mean that she should not have time for her family, because we always say this, that as women, our goal is to succeed all round. But it would be wrong of the person to have an expectation that this wife of his now will not be like his mother, maybe cooking fresh soup.
Yeah.
Cooking fresh soups every day, um, uh, always being there for every of the activities. There are times that she might miss one or two things, maybe because of pressure of work and all of that. So how do we begin to disabuse people's mind in terms of the negative aspect? Or maybe we should come back first to when is comparison positive? Because what you've described earlier and what we've talked about earlier is what most people know, is what they think is the only aspect of comparison in
Mm.
terms of how it can be bad when you're comparing your spouse to another person. But you've mentioned it slightly at the beginning that comparison can be positive. When is comparison a positive thing?
Um, Comparison is positive depending on the presentation.
Mhm.
Comparison can be positive depending on how you handle it. Presentation, I mean, it could become an inspiration instead of a comparison.
Mm.
You use it to inspire your partner. For instance, if you come to your partner, instead of saying brother B had made it big, has succeeded in certain field, you both of you might be in that same field, but he's done this, he's achieved this, and you are here. You people started together. The way you present that will become problem. But if you were to say, "Oh, honey, I was just going, I'm thinking that with what the achievement that B has made, is it possible that you can also do this kind of course to help you improve and to grow in this same line like this brother has done or B has done?" Now, the tune, the presentation is what will either inspire that man or just demoralize him.
Mm.
If you present it well, and use that as an inspiration to inspire you and say, Lord, I feel that you have what it takes. You have the pedigree, you have the strength, you have the character, you have the push
Mm.
to be able to achieve better, much more than what this man has done. If only you can, if we can work together, I'm willing to support you, to grow in this field, to grow in this space.
Mm.
Now, the man sees it as the support.
Mm.
The woman sees it as the support.
Mm.
But if you're going to be ranting about it, if you're going to be, what's that thing women do a lot? You're going to tell me, sorry, just remind me.
Is it just women or
No, it's
everybody? Okay,
women.
nagging.
If you're going to be
They
nagging the
always
man about it, sorry. If you're going to be, women, forgive me. If you're going to be nagging the man about it, then that is comparison. You're not inspiring him. You know, you can say, oh, honey, I've just bought you this form. I want you to go do this exam. I know you have what it takes. There's a way you vibe this man, you present it to him. He sees himself as good. He feels good about himself. No matter you're actually trying to to draw comparison, but you change it into inspiration. So for me, it's comparison is not totally bad if you change it, if you change the tune, you change the presentation from comparison into inspiration. That partner, that friend, that woman will feel good. That man will feel good about what you're saying and will take it to the advantage and then do exactly what you want them to do and become better person. But if you keep nagging them about it, you will lose them. That's the biggest mistake we make in relationship. You will lose them. So the way you present it is very, very important. That man will accept it and he will become better for you and better in that relationship if only you present it well. Now, another thing that I want us to look at, in this comparison matter, the positive that can come out of it is when you see it as an opportunity for growth and learning.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right.
Take it as an opportunity for growth and learning.
That's right.
That's what I do. Of course, those of you who know me well know that my wife is a doctor, and I like calling her Doctor Mo. And the reality is that I don't take it as comparison. I see it as a need to grow, a need to learn, and that's what couples needs to do. Don't compete among each other. Don't make comparisons. Don't say because A has done this, B has done that. You who is C needs to do that. No, you yourself use it as a point of learning and growth. Grow with it. Don't take it so much to heart. Like one of my sons would say, "Don't take it to family." Is that what you say? So don't take it so much to heart. See it as an opportunity to develop. See it as an opportunity to grow.
Mm.
Instead of you to cry and wimp around it. Just, dust it off and begin to grow about it. Don't take it too personal. For me, there are positives that can come from comparison, which will be turn it around into into inspiration. Two, let it become an opportunity for learning and development. And thirdly, present it well. Huh? Communicate it well. That the way you communicate it is the way the other person will receive it. If you communicate it negatively, that's the way it will hit him. But if you do it in a very, very constructive manner, he or she would definitely take it. For me, there are positives in them: growth, development, and inspiration. It will work. Just try it.
Totally agree. So, for those who were asking me, is it really possible to get, positivity out of comparison? Yes, it is.
It is.
It's possible. Now, it depends on how it's handled. It depends on what kind of comparison you're doing. Like you rightly said, comparison can be a tool for growth.
Yeah.
It can be something that challenges you to be better. You are there as a woman, maybe you've seen another woman who is doing well. I remember many years ago now, a lady came to me, and she was a bit more mature than me. But she would say, I like your dress sense. I like the way you dress. She was comparing the way I was dressing to the way she was dressing. And she would tell me, look, I've got this dress, I've got this color, I've got this. How do you think I should wear them? How should I match it that looks good? To an extent, somebody might feel like, oh, why is she comparing me to herself? But this was kind of a positive light, in the sense that it was for her to be able to improve her dress sense and how she was dressing and how she was feeling about herself. On the other end of it, spectrum, similar situation, and I'll give you another life story. I had a man who was using me to compare to the wife. Always saying to her, why are you not dressing like A? Why are you not dressing like, don't you see the way she dresses? Don't you see the way she dresses? It got to a point that this woman and I kind of had a strained relationship. We never quarreled though. We never fought. I didn't even know this was going on in the background. It was later, in fact, like many years later, that I got to know that this is what the husband was doing behind the scene. And that was why the woman started seeing me as, an enemy to an extent. Without having to fight her, without having a quarrel with her, we just suddenly fell out. Because the husband was always using me as a standard or yard. And this is me sitting in my own house, not even knowing what was going on. So you see, it is the way it is used majorly that's our challenge. How are you using that comparison? It's a tool that can be useful for growth in a relationship, in the sense that you can also see a couple, you like their marriage, you like the way the man takes the woman out all the time. The man plans dates, the man, then as a woman, you feel like this would meet my need as a person to, if my husband were to behave like this, I would like it. There's nothing stopping you from saying it to your husband. But how do you say it? I wrote something down here. I wrote something down here, and what I said is, present it as a need, not as an accusation. So rather than saying, other men, don't you see that other men are planning dates? Don't you see Mr. A? He's always planning dates. You can say, I feel love when dates are planned. Can you do more of that? Women, sisters, I don't know whether women doing more, because Pastor is inducting women today.
Forgive me, women, please.
But the question here is, how do you present it?
How do you present it?
Because if you present it, nobody, male or female, nobody would want to feel less of themselves. So if you present it in a way that makes the person feel less of themselves, then you lose the positivity of it. Or what am I saying? What do you think?
Presentation matters. I remember, I'm just going to remind you, honey. I remember when we met 30 years ago.
Hmm.
And
30 years.
30
My
years
God.
ago, yeah.
Making me feel old. 30
when,
years
when we
already.
met 30
Okay.
years
Yeah.
ago, I hadn't gone to the university then.
Mm-hmm.
And when we started, and you said, no, you need to go to the university, you need to up your academic level. You had the opportunity to compare me with other persons who were already there.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of you to do that, what you did was you got me the form to go to school and say, you need to go to school. Fill it, go submit it, you need to go to school. And I took that
Mm-hmm.
as learning. I took that as a channel for development. I took that because of the presentation. If you had come to me to say, your mate don't go school finish, now you want to come and marry me and you're not there yet. You understand what I'm saying? Then I wouldn't have taken that in a positive light. But I saw that, wow, this was good for me. It was presented well. It is in my best interest that I develop myself, and I had to do that. And I kept on going until where we are today. So understand it. If you can listen, wherever you are and you're hearing us today, the presentation matters. That's what we're still saying. Like she just read something to you. She came to me and said, it would be nice for you to do this. So the presentation again will bring better results. It will better channel that energy that you used to, mock the man. Because sometimes it's seen even as a mockery. It's not just comparison. You're trying to mock the person in question. That's why most people see comparison as a negative thing. Comparison in its own sense is not all bad, but it is the channel with which it's been communicated, the method of communication, the manner of communication. This is what changes the context. So for us tonight, we've come to let you know, viewers, that it is not all negative. There are positives that can come out of it, and that's what we're trying to tell you. Make comparisons, educative. Make comparison inspirational. Make comparison worth it. Don't bring down the person you're making that comparison to. Don't mock them. Don't shame them. But help them to grow. Help them to learn. Like she's helped me learn and grow. So if you're hearing me today, we are telling you, we are practical examples of these things that it can become positive.
Let's talk about social media. Because we cannot talk about this comparison and the effect that social media has on people. Social media paints this picture of perfect couples.
Yeah.
Are there any perfect couples or perfect marriage anywhere? People go online now and wish that they were the ones married to Mr. A, to Mr. B, because they see what Mr. A and Mr. B are doing online, or the picture that Mr. A and B are showing online. Let's speak to that. I feel like couples are pressuring themselves. There's a way social media pressures you if you allow it.
I hear you. Again, social media is good. Social media can become a killer as well. But it depends on how you view it and how you take it. For instance, you don't live your life for anybody. The biggest problem we have in our society is that we allow people on social media, celebrities, to mentor us. Now, the wrongest, perception we have is that there's a perfect marriage. There's no marriage that hasn't got their own problems. Some people are good at managing their troubles. Others are not so good. So it's at the preview of everyone. So hear me if you may. We are not going to sit down here and tell you that in these 28 years we've been angels. We've had times that we didn't want to sit like this. But what has helped us, one, is God, our relationship with God. Secondly, the fact that we can forgive each other. Thirdly, because we know how to work it out within ourselves by experience of these years, because experience helps you, navigate certain curves. Now, having said that, social media is good though, but if you don't manage it well, it's a destroyer. So when you see the bling blings, people come and show you all the side they want you to see. and then you say, "Oh, my husband is this. My husband can't do." I know people who go to shops and they borrow clothes to go for parties, and then after that they return it back to where they got it from, and then you go killing your husband or wife
to provide.
For you. So why do you want to live on the highway? And then you can't afford these things, and you're living a lifestyle which is false. Social media presents, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes they present a very, very wrong narrative, very, very negative narrative.
True.
And unfortunately, we have a generation that have bought into these narratives. But if you, as a husband, you can afford it, please take care of your wife. If as a wife you can help your partner like God has implied for us to do, please do. Don't allow social media to dictate your life for you. It should not be so. I'm not saying social media is not good. I believe so much in social media. I do online church service. I do programs online. We broadcast our programs every Sunday online. That means that it's good. But understanding that as good as it is, it also has got a bad part of it when it's trying to show you life that you shouldn't be seeing. I've seen people who picked up very bad ideas and knowledge from social media, bad beliefs, and they are still holding strong to those views, that were not true. So you should be able to filter things. Don't just take things hook, line, and sinker because you saw them on social media or because they are done by one celebrity or the other. Those celebrities have their life. If you look at their life behind the scene, you wouldn't want to admire them. So be careful what you admire. Sometimes I hear people say, "He's my mentor." How much do you know this person is that is mentoring you? How much do you know them? Sometimes if you find out who they really are, you'll be appalled by what you see. So for me, be wary of social media. Just take what you need and get out. Don't make it where you dwell. People just want to be there 24/7. You don't need to do that. Take what you need. If you want to do a research, do your research, get out. You want to watch a program, do that and go. Don't just take everything in like that. Filter them. It will help you. That's what I feel.
Let me tell our viewers a funny story. My mom told me this. So they went to, my parents now being ministers.
Yeah.
So they went to counsel in marriage, where they were told that there was problem. And when they got there, after the husband and wife had narrated what their issues were, suddenly the woman now started saying, "I don't know why my husband will not be like so person or so person." The wife said that her husband does this and her husband does that and her husband does that. My mom said she was shocked because the woman that they were quoting, that this woman was referring to, they, meaning my dad and mom, had just been in their house the week before
to settle
them.
There you go.
To settle them, to resolve a similar situation. But that woman had told her friend that me, I can't take it. No, my husband will not do this to me. He will not try it. He will not, be wary of people who always tell you that, "Oh, my husband, my wife, I can't take it. If it's me, you can't do that to me." A lot of the times they are taking more. They are taking more because in a relationship, a relationship is about two people who forgive, who can take it actually, who can take a lot. There's a lot in relationships, as you go along. If you're really ready to do a relationship, you must be willing to take the nonsenses that come with the relationship. So don't let someone deceive you into saying, "Oh, they have a perfect," make it look like they have a perfect marriage or everything around them is perfect. Someone has asked me before if I'm teaching men fences and all those things I'm doing because I've got a perfect marriage. It's not the truth.
No.
It's not perfect anywhere. We have our fights, we have our issues. We've had the good, the bad,
the ugly, and back to the good.
That's how I like to say it. The good, the bad, the ugly, and we're back again to the good. So that's the cycle of a relationship. The grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is green where you water it.
Absolutely. Good word.
Yeah? So it's not about, and this is the reason why some people, not all, jump from one marriage to the other. Because if you divorce this person, you go and marry another one. He or she will also have their own faults,
Mm.
their own challenges. You right? Then instead of working it out with that person, you move to the next one. The next one we also have might not be the same,
Mm.
but because nobody is perfect, they would still have their own challenges, and issues that you would have to deal with. So it's best to just water your grass, um, tend your garden.
Mm.
Tending
Fine tender.
ministries. I remember we used to call ourselves that when we were younger. Tending ministries. I don't know where's Chinedu Okpechi. Okay, anyways, I've been looking for a way to bring him here. So tending ministries, tend your vineyard, grow your own garden, and see whether it will not be green, rather than stretching your neck to see what's happening in the other person's garden,
Mm.
and then comparing. Oh, the worst is to be in a marriage and be comparing your spouse with an ex.
Oh, don't go there.
If they were so perfect, why didn't you marry them?
Good question. Don't even think we need to talk about that because you've answered it already. I think the biggest mistake that you will make is to compare someone with your past.
Mm.
And dwelling in the past.
I do not have a personal past or
you
history.
know,
I am an AI, and my knowledge is
you know,
based on the
dwelling,
data I was trained on.
you know, when you begin to make such comparisons with the past, it means that you are still hold in that past. Once you have ended the relationship, the only good thing you can do for yourself is to move away from it and you know create for yourself a clean slate, a new beginning, and continue to work in that. Otherwise, if you compare your exes, your partner with your exes, that relationship is just a matter of time before you call it quit because nobody will be able to stand that. It's very difficult for partners to go through that. It is traumatizing, it is humiliating, and it really, really makes them become a shadow of themselves even when they stay. I've seen people who stay in such relationship and they are full of regrets. So you don't want your partner to be, to not give their best in that relationship. So the best thing you can do is never compare them, whether with friends or family, with exes. In fact, with exes is even worse. My plea for you is please don't do that. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. I don't know. I don't know. When I hear people who say that, I'm always like, really?
Yeah.
Really? Then why didn't you stick with that ex? Why didn't you stay with that ex if you were so good and they were so perfect? The last aspect of this comparison that I would like us to talk about is when people compare themselves
Mm.
with others in a negative way.
Mm.
So in terms of maybe like timelines, you hear things like, I should be married by now, or all your mates are married.
Mm.
All your mates are married. Why don't you have children yet? Oh, how come you don't have a car?
Mm.
How come you've not bought a house? I feel like this puts unnecessary pressure
Pressure. Mm.
on us as people, as human beings. Should we actually be comparing ourselves with others in that kind of light?
Mm. Thanks, Dr. Omo. One of the things that you can never get me in is when you make such comparison. I really don't care what achievement or attainment anyone has.
Mm.
One thing I understand is that there's a growth level or a speed that everybody will go through. The reality is that because A got it in 1 year doesn't mean that you will get it in 1 year. You need to understand that everyone has got
Your journey.
their journey in
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
and they've got
Yeah.
what is important to them. Somebody might buy a property today, but buying a property might not be what I want. Maybe my own joy would be, to do a PhD, or maybe to buy a car,
Mm.
or maybe to train my children, or to
Mm.
take a holiday.
Mm.
Everybody knows what is of interest to them, and you should understand what you need.
Mm-hmm.
Don't undertake what we call the bandwagon effect, do things because other people are doing it. Understand for yourself what you need. You understand? If it is education, if it is to improve on your career development and improvement, all of that, follow that route. Don't allow anybody or anything pressure you. I remember years ago, I had two friends, and those two friends had the Mercedes car. And I know why my wife is laughing. They both of them had Mercedes car, and I so dearly wanted to buy a Mercedes car. Nothing else mattered to me at that point other than buying a Mercedes car. And the Mercedes was very sweet. I've always loved the Mercedes. Unfortunately, my wife didn't like Mercedes cars. But it took me almost 15, 20 years afterwards to be able to buy my own first Mercedes car and the second one, and even had a Mercedes car as an official car.
Yeah.
So understanding that what they got they got, earlier on, I got it after in 20 years. And even a better version of it, a newer version of it. So what I will tell you, friends, if you're listening to me today, don't be in any hurry. Don't be in any hurry to say, I must do this now because my friends are doing it. You all have your different life settings and goals, what you want to achieve in life. Understanding that you're different from the other person. Don't put yourself under any kind of pressure, I beg you. That's what I would say today.
Totally agree. Totally agree. My mom will always say, you don't have any mates.
Yeah.
Nobody is your mate. You did not come to the world, even if you say you were a twin, one came before the other. And that is like a message to us to understand what the cycle of life is, which is to say that we are all on our own different and separate journey.
Yeah.
So yes, you may have those you went to school together with. You may have those that you were born the same year with. You may have those that you grew up together with, your friends, your cycle. It's fine, but it doesn't mean that, your life will go the way theirs is going. The best thing you can do for yourself is to celebrate where you are,
yes,
on the way to where you're going. And if you have people who put unnecessary pressure on you, this I don't play with as a person, because I like my mental health. If you are in the cycle of someone who's always asking you, maybe you're not married yet, but why are you not married yet? Why are you not married yet? Like some people do in our culture back home. You just a young girl, especially for the ladies, because they're not going to marry themselves. Someone has to come and marry them. But yet, every time you see them, why are you not married yet? Why are you not married yet? It might be coming from a good place, but it puts the person under some kind of pressure.
I think, Dr. Omo, that one of the things is that I don't blame the people who make these comparisons or try to remind you of who you are, where you are presently. I blame the person who accepts it. Because as long as you accept these things, they will keep coming. Now, when people make certain statements, you need to stop them in that track and correct them. It's imperative that you correct them. Let them know that they are in the wrong. If somebody is asking you, why are you not married now, you can politely tell them that, please, can we not talk about this subject going forward? If I'm getting married, I will invite you. You
can't say that to some aunties in Nigeria.
Honestly, again,
some of African aunties to see that as a rude response.
Again, I would say, for some of us in our own tradition, we don't call them aunties, we call them mama.
Mommy.
Mama, Mama, don't ask me this again. The fact that you have called her mama shows a lot of respect. So you say, Mama, please don't ask me this again. And if it's an auntie that is not an overdo or oversabi auntie, you will understand that they have overstepped their bounds. So listen, you give people the opportunity to treat you the way they are treating you when you allow them to continue to do what they are doing. You must get to the point where you are able to tell them, auntie or uncle or whoever they are, please, I want to be treated this way. Don't allow people treat you anyhow. Don't allow people push you. Listen, successes will arrive for some people earlier. For some people, it could be later in life. That's what we're trying to tell you. So don't allow people to push you in any form. I've been pastoring for so many years, and most of the times when we are coming to open a new church, you don't see people who will tell you we have succeeded. You don't see people who will tell you we have made it. You only will see people who will say, we have not been able to get 20 members in 10 years. And these are the things that make people to begin to pull out of certain, targets, certain achievement they want to make. Can I talk to you if you're listening today? Don't allow people to divert you from the good road, from the good track that you're already on, because you're listening to them. Stop listening to what people say. People will always have something to say, but be focused. What I'm saying, be focused tonight and achieve your own goal at your own speed. Don't allow anybody push you way ahead of what you want to do.
Totally agree. I totally agree. You can tell the mama too, when are you going to die? Your mates are dead. Oh my God. That's so mean, Prophetess Sarah.
That's so mean. Put it on there.
Oh my God. What a question. That would be a very, very powerful comeback.
Honestly,
to say, Mama.
Honestly, listen, living in this part of the world has really helped me in my growth journey and has exposed me more to understand that we allow people treat us in certain ways. And that becomes an abuse in its own.
Yes.
So if you want people to respect you, let them know how to respect you. You understand? You can politely decline certain branding, certain names, certain things that are happening to you by politely telling them, no, can we not do this thing this way? And they will respect you. But as long as you keep mute, they will think it's okay by you. So don't allow anybody push you to do anything for whatever reason. Don't allow people push you. Do things at your own pace, and still get to the same direction. One of the things that I've come to realize in life is that most of the time we overspeed. We're trying to get to a certain point. You find out that if you give yourself, you arrive there in 10 minutes, the other, 10 minutes earlier, the other person might arrive 10 minutes afterwards. So you find out that the time between both arrivals will not be more than 10 minutes. So understanding that the speed is good. I like speed. But take your time to achieve what you want to achieve. If you need to explore. If you need to do more of thinking, do it. Don't allow people, to begin to use you anyhow, So, yeah, I agree with that. Sometimes they use respect to abuse you. They do that a lot. So I stay saying all the right things.
I can feel Sarah's pain. I can feel Sarah's pain. Honestly, the truth is that we all have to come to a point where we respect the journey of each other. As much as it's necessary to spur ourselves to good works, it's necessary to inspire ourselves, to encourage ourselves, to want to be better, to seek to be better. We must also respect the boundaries, when it's gone beyond that. And like you rightly used the word, when it has become manipulative and abusive, So the comparison, if people are already pressuring you, there's no need for you to pressure yourself again. For some people who are growing up in a pressured environment already, there's no need for you to now begin to pressure yourself, getting sleepless night about what has not happened for you. Think about it. Wherever stage that you are in life, there are people, my sister will always say that's someone else's prayer point.
Yeah.
That stage that you are in life, someone is praying to get there. And yet, while it is good for you to also aspire to be bigger, to be better, remember that, you can enjoy the journey to where you are going. And as long as we arrive at the same point, doesn't matter when we get there, really. There are some situations people will tell you, oh, they are time bound. Oh, like you're a woman, you need to get married early so you can have children. But we know now that there are lots of ways to have children without even having a biological one.
Yeah.
So don't let anything pressure you into making mistakes, or don't start comparing yourself with people and their life and what they want you to see, because you don't know the picture that is
Do
going
you know that,
happening behind.
there's this story of a woman who used to pressure her husband
Mm,
and compare the husband to another colleague in the office.
mm,
Now, this colleague was embezzling and misappropriating government funds in the office.
mm,
The husband knew what this man was doing, but never said a word anytime that the wife was making such comparison. They lived as neighbors, and so the man was buying cars, building houses,
mhm,
while he was stealing from the government purse.
mm.
And so he kept cool. He never indulged himself in any of these things to say, okay, let me do like this other man. He kept his hands clean.
Yeah.
And one day, there's always one day.
Yes,
One
there's
day,
always
there's
one.
always a day. So this man was caught, and then he was prosecuted, and every of this property he had was taken away, and it became a very, very known story.
Mm,
And the woman came to the husband and said she's sorry for all of these things that have been happening, that he thought this man was genuinely making this money. And the husband said, I knew all along what was happening, and I knew he was already being investigated. But from the way you were pushing, I knew you were not a good person. You were more concerned about the wealth instead of how we build our relationship.
mm,
And that was how that woman lost that good man.
mm.
Because he said, I wanted this thing to happen so that I take my decision. And he said, I was ending it here. So if this is what you're looking for, the kind of relationship you want, people who are
Still.
thieves, those are your inspiration, you go have them.
Mm.
So understand that most marriages, most partners, most people have lost good men, good women, where they are making comparisons. There are also men who are comparing women outside to
To
their
their
wives
wives
at
at
home,
home, yeah.
to the point that these women became shadows of themselves.
What?
They were very vibrant women, intelligent women,
Yes.
people who were industrious and were doing well for themselves.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, you have rendered them, they became a shadow of them. So they could not even see anything good in themselves,
yes.
because you don't make them feel good. You're always talking down on them.
Yeah.
There's no how that woman can be good for you anymore, because she doesn't see herself good enough.
Yeah.
If she's walking on the street and somebody says, fine woman, she does not agree to that.
Is fine.
Because you are the one who is supposed to paint that picture to her.
What?
So that she can run with that. But she sees herself, looks at herself on the mirror and sees nothing but ugly. But in the real sense, she's beautiful. So please be mindful what you are selling to your partner, because they believe you, they trust you, they're going to buy it. And once they build it in their mind, they come to that point where it is difficult for them to disabuse their mind that they are not bad, they're not the worst. So be careful of comparison. While we are trying to balance it, looking at the positivities of this comparison, it is also very deadly to be making certain comparisons. Many partners have lost themselves, when these things happen. Be careful.
I hope that you're learning something, people, because even I am learning. We are all here to learn together, people. I hope you're learning and you're hearing and you practice, as it will help your relationship. The next best thing you can do is to share this video. Please share with your friends. Share the links. Tell them about this platform. Tell them about where they can come and learn practical insights, gain practical insights for their relationship. We're not here to tell you how to live your life, but we are telling you what we've learned and what we're learning, what's working and what can work for you. Comparison in itself is not bad. It's not inherently a bad thing. It can be useful. It can be something that helps our growth, but the intention and the delivery of it is what is important. You can pick something you've seen that is really good in someone's lifestyle, learn it, and compare, use it as a way of comparing yourself to good work, or encouraging yourself or inspiring yourself to do something that is good. But on the other hand, you can also use it as a manipulative tool against your partner or even against yourself when you begin to compare yourself to others. That's the bottom line of our message today. it can become a negative tool against yourself when you are someone who's already always comparing yourself to that person. Oh, I should have been this, I should have been that. And then you start living in regret. You start living an unfulfilled life because you're always seeing what you are not and what you have not gotten and what you should have gotten. So it's unnecessary pressure, and it's not necessary for you to compare yourself. The other aspect of it also is when you do it to your partner. You talk down on them because you're comparing them to, Mr. A or Mrs. A. Don't you see the way that lady dresses? Hello, if you want your wife to dress like that, buy her the same clothes. She will wear them, she will dress that way. Or maybe you've seen something nice in someone that you like for your partner. Get it for them. Teach them. If it's something that you think they can learn, but don't say it in a way that makes them feel less of themselves. Yeah, you look at you, dirty woman. Don't you know you can make hair like this? Your mates use this to make hair. Hello, people. Everyone wants to look good. There's no woman that you will give money to go and make her hair that she will not make. Maybe she doesn't have that money, or she doesn't even have the knowledge. She just does not even know that if she makes her hair like that, it will be nice. That's why you are there as her partner. That's why you are there as his partner, to teach each other, to learn from each other, and to grow together. I like this, and I think this is where we'll just draw the curtain
This is
today.
amazing,
It's a
yeah.
very fantastic conclusion.
In my
Comparison in a
comparison,
relationship can sometimes create unnecessary pressure
and
and
misunderstanding.
misunderstanding.
Absolutely.
Every couple has their own journey. I believe it's healthier when we appreciate each other's efforts
Rather
than comparing.
Amazing.
Communication, respect, and understanding mean more to me than any comparison. Thank you,
Thanks,
Catherine. It's good to see you here,
Good
Catherine.
to see you,
Long time.
Thank you. How are you?
Catherine is one of our friends and daughters from South Africa. So really, really nice to see you here.
It's amazing.
So thank you all, everyone, for connecting with us. Again, like I've said, one of the best things you can also do is share this video. Please help your friends, help their relationship, let them learn. This year is running, to an end. It's time that people begin to reflect. What have I done this year? Make sure that as you are reflecting, you're not doing it in a negative way where you're condemning yourself. Celebrate every little win, the small changes your partner has made, the small changes your your friends have made. Celebrate those little wins. Celebrate the little changes that we're making, and the little effort that we're making. Celebrate it and hope for more. Trust God for more improvement. Celebrate. If your partner makes a bit of a change, encourage and celebrate it so that they can do more. People thrive better, and I think this way I'll hang it. Couples thrive better when we celebrate ourselves rather than compare.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Catherine. We're so happy to see you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, every one of you. We're not able to mention you one after the other, but we're particularly delighted. And for me, Dr. Tomo has helped my own growth instead of making comparisons. And that's why this topic is not difficult for me to speak on, because she's helped my growth instead of making comparisons. I'm someone who I like to take challenges. I don't want people making, once you make comparisons, you lose me. But I have changed it into something that I see as a learning curve, something that I've used to grow, something that I've used to develop myself. So what we're saying out there, like you've been told today, don't make comparisons, change it, channel your energy into growth and development of each other instead of destroying them and bringing them down. Change that to growth and development. Thank you, everyone. From me, it is.
Thank you, everyone. God bless you. Again, I just remind you to go to our website. It's menfences.co.uk. Go there, see what we're doing, see how you can partner with us, connect with us. We have premarital classes ongoing. Please register for our premarital classes. What you don't know is more than you. Prepare for marriage so as to avoid regret. It's better to be prepared Don't go into what you do not know. So premarital classes are ongoing. Counseling classes are on. You can find our calendar and book your sessions with us for your counseling. Don't die in silence. Talk to us, and God will help us to help you as you do so. Next Sunday is our first Sunday in the month of December, and you know what we do on our first Sunday is our love seat. So we are going to be here by the grace of God again next Sunday, bringing a wonderful couple to tell you that marriage work and marriage is to work. Thank you again, honey, for coming on this show today with me. Esther said we look good together. Thank you so much. Yes, we do look good together. But I look better than, okay, let's not go into that. I'll see you all next week. Have a love-filled week, everyone. Keep sharing the video. God bless you. Thank you for watching today's video. We appreciate you. Kindly remember to subscribe and share so you can get notification every time we post new videos. Our promise is to ensure that you flourish in love, in life, and in your relationships. See you next week.